Hey YouTube, it's me and Min here, and I'm starting a new gameplay series where I play Fate the Traitor Soul on the hardest and most difficult difficulty setting, which is hardcore. I've had a lot of experience playing Fate throughout my childhood as well, in addition to Metal Slug, and we've actually already made some progress in hardcore mode of Fate the Traitor Soul, and I actually suggest that you also do the same strategy, where you just go into Grove before you go into these main realms and just do a ton of fishing. Like when you start the game, you're right here, like you just go to this portal to Grove here, you fish a ton, and then you just basically sell whatever you can and identify whatever artifacts you get and just sell it, and then just save up so that you can buy a bunch of random gambler stuff from Zim. Yeah, Zim is this dude.
Yes.
And he sells a whole bunch of overpriced stuff. But like, if you can find a random artifact, which are the yellow bordered stuff, you can sell it and make massive money, and then you can just gamble. And I happen to be fortunate enough to get a battle staff that gives 50 plus fire damage, which is really insane when you're starting out in hardcore mode, especially since enemies are like level 8 on the first level. So I already cleared the first level of Grove, and I've been going to Druanti to grind the first levels of Druanti and then Typhon consecutively so that I can level up really quick before I move on to the second levels of the dungeons, because I hear that it scales really hard for those levels of monsters.
A fine day.
I really enjoy the Grove dungeon though, so if any of the level 1 quests actually reappear, I'm willing to play Grove again. But I don't think so. So like, fishing is the most important thing. You have to be patient with fishing when you're starting out in hardcore mode, but once you get some decent gear and you just kite the first few enemies, then you'll make it pretty well in this hardcore mode.
Well met.
So so it seems like Grove is not giving me level 1 quests anymore, so I'm probably gonna have to go with Druanti then. And word of advice, do not go to the Chamber of Trials when you're just starting, because there's no quest givers besides Malcandra, so you're gonna have a tough time leveling up. The best place to start out is Grove, because the monsters are pretty basic, and then second would be Druanti, and third would be Typhon. The reason I choose Druanti over Typhon in terms of difficulty is because like there's a lot of weak insect enemies compared to Typhon, where you'll probably face off against like the broad-winged bird soldiers, which often have ranged weapons and they'll snipe you away, which can be annoying. But Druanti's tough part is when you fight like those floating mines, which are the flying brains that have tanky health. So we got 3 level 1 quests for Druanti, and 2 of them involve taking out a boss floating mines, and the other one's just some insect enemies that we gotta wipe out.
Would you like to see my wares?
When you're starting out, it's probably best just to save like the hotkey items for good fish, and the rest be potions, because you never know when you need to heal in the nick of time before you get taken out by a bunch of enemies randomly. So like, just sell all the fish that give you low strength for your pet, and then just keep the ones that give high strength. And I'm gonna check the gambler every now and then in case if I feel like fish grinding to get better stuff. Might as well try some fishing, just for the heck of it before we go into the dungeon. Because I'm pretty sure those floating mines are going to be annoying. I mean, my channel is not really devoted to just one game. Like, I'm hopping back and forth between Brawlhalla, Metal Slug, and Fate. And Chess Evolved Online, too. So, let me know in the comments if you want me to focus on any games above any others for content, if you really care for that stuff. But if you're fine with watching any of my content, then that's fine, too. I mean, when you're fishing, it's like one of three outcomes. First outcome, you get a fish. Could be a good fish or a bad fish, but either way you can sell the fish, so that's fine. But if it's a good fish, you get a strong pet. Second outcome, you just get a fish that coughs up some kind of jewelry that you can just sell. So that's actually the worst outcome, but you can still make money, so it's fine. The third outcome is you get an artifact, which is worth a lot of gold, and that's really lucky, so that's what you're trying to fish for, like, literally. So, if I can describe the type of game Fate would be, like, just think of League of Legends, but like PvE, where you only fight the bot and the computer and AI itself instead of players. Like, that's probably the best comparison I can think of in terms of gameplay. You're playing League against the AI. Okay, we're gonna sell one dory. Okay, that's a terrible pet, so we'll sell that. Sell that.
I've got something for you.
Okay, it might be fine to go into the dungeon to see what's up now. So here we go. And take your time when it comes to leveling up, because what you level up is kind of depends on how lucky you get with the gambling items. So I got lucky with a staff, so that's why I'm kind of focusing on spellcasting skill. But I'm saving the skills mostly until I can figure out what's my favorite weapon type for now. So don't be in a hurry to level up your stats. And if you're afraid of getting one-shot, level up a bunch of vitality. But otherwise, you just want to level up the stats that can help you equip better gear. And level up magic as necessary based on what kind of spells you like to use. Okay, big open area to start out with on Druanti. Big open areas are really bad because you can't really bottleneck enemies very well. Oh, it's this dude. This guy's a nightmare. Okay, let's get some rats. Oh geez, we're getting dogpiled right off the bat.
Your pet has increased in power.
Perfect.
You have been granted new skills. You have completed a quest.
Okay, we got one of the biggest threats down for the count right now. That's good. I'm probably gonna summon some more rats just to be decoys. And then keep it on lightning strike just to snipe some stuff.
You have been granted new skills.
you always want to go for the boss right away because they can cast summoning magic that can make things
You
at
have
night.
completed a quest.
Okay, another gameplay tip is when you're picking up loot, if the loot's unidentified, then you want to pick that up yourself just so you can identify it and check to see if it's good loot, and also make sure that you can get the most bang for your buck. Because if you don't identify stuff, you're just missing out on free gold. Because an identify book is not nearly worth as much as a loot that has good abilities on it. So I just hold shift and click to get my pet to pick up stuff that's normal, and then unidentified stuff I pick up myself. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay, we need to bring out the rats while this guy's chasing me. Okay, now we can take you out.
Your pet has grown more
Perfect.
skilled. Your notoriety has grown. You have completed the quest.
Okay, we completely cleared level 1 already. Now we just need to wipe out the stragglers to level up some more. And I suggest turning the magnifying glass on, which is this button here, so that way you don't miss any loot at all. Like, every single piece of gold counts in this game, so you don't want to miss out on anything. You can run, but you can't hide. Yeah, this bow goblin dude was pretty annoying. Good thing he didn't go after me though, so we were pretty fortunate there. Seemed like a pretty straightforward level then.
The trap has been sprung.
And if you're worried about like those random traps, just be sure to carry extra health potions and antidotes on you, and that should be no issue at all. And another pro tip, when you're on the first level of a dungeon, don't make a town portal, just walk right back up the stairs to town. Because if you leave a portal to town, like, it's just gonna keep the area completely basically cleared, so it never respawns, so you'll never get the chance of re-grinding that floor for XP. So just walk up the stairs.
I must ask you something.
The main thing that you want to do questing for is the money and for the experience. But the money is really good because you want to gamble to get better gear. And also you can just hold shift and then click on a merchant to have your pet go up to the merchant so that you can look at their inventory. And holding shift while clicking when you're on the pet's inventory is quick selling, so you don't have to click and drag that much. Okay, now that we have a decent amount of gold to buy a hat, I could settle to buy a wizard apprentice's hat. That might be the play. Yeah. Let's see if we get lucky and get a decent effect off of this. So, here goes nothing. Okay, we got a socket, and we have damage reduction. So I say that's a win in my book. I mean, it's not a teal item which has all sorts of crazy stuff, but that single effect is really good, and I get a socket. So, that's a win. Of course I'm gonna buy a book of Identify. It's inevitable that you're gonna find unidentified stuff. Okay, now the tricky part is, now that I have a socketed hat, the tough part is finding the ideal gem. So like when you're trying to build a mage class, I'd say you always, bare in a minimum, want to have at least one summon magic, preferably something that adds levels to the summoned creature with each charm skill level. Like this. This is bad because vampire bats, they're good, but you need 3 charm skill levels just to give 1 extra level to the bat. But for the rat, they get a level for every charm skill level. So for this you only gain 1 level for 3, but for this you gain 3 for 3, so that's just way better. So the crab is pretty good too. But I just prefer the rats because the rats have more mobility. And don't be afraid to save and exit the game like this multiple times if you don't see the stuff you like in the shops. Enchanter. Okay. We need more gold for that. Okay, I'm pretty sure Druanti is gonna give a whole bunch of high level quests now.
Welcome.
Right? 4.
What good fortune?
4. Okay, we're probably gonna go back to Grove. We're gonna check Grove's dungeon to see if the enemies respawns in the first level. Okay, let's see if this guy has stuff. Okay, having knockback can be really valuable if you focus on ranged attacks, because you can knock them back and then finish them off with ranged. But if you're a melee class that focuses on multiple hits up close, do not go for knockback. And also, Summon Skeleton and Summon Spider is also good alternatives if you don't like rats as well. Because of the +1 per charm skill level thing. Stamina spell seems pretty useless, but it's good if you like to spam the special attack, which is the spacebar. Hits all around, does good damage, but it drains stamina. But if you have stamina spell, you can just keep doing that. But I wouldn't recommend it though, because there's a glitch where occasionally you don't gain XP if you kill stuff with special attacks though. Third. Escort's a second level.
A fine day.
Second level? Okay, we might get lucky and get in first level quest again. We might. Third.
A fine day to you. Well met.
Third. The most important merchant in every town is definitely the healer. Like, she heals you for free and your pet too.
Hello.
You are refreshed.
And the second most important is the gambler, because you never know what good stuff you can find here. Yeah, I think our gear's pretty good now. I guess next stop's gonna be Typhon then. But first we're gonna do some fishing before we move on to Typhon. Yeah, luck in fishing. Dogfish. Yeah, it's like a 50% chance of just getting a fish, and then like a 30% chance of getting random jewelry, and then 10% chance of just getting basic gear, and then the final 10% chance is probably the artifact that you've been wanting to sell. But that 10% is enough to keep fishing interesting though. Silver fin. So after I'm done fishing, if I'm gonna fish for a little bit more, and if I don't get anything good, we'll just end the video because I don't feel like including Typhon and Juanti in the same video. Okay, we got a gem. Cracked malachite. Yeah, like basic gear I include gems too. Like non-artifact stuff. But getting gems is way better than getting random jewelry, which is kind of ironic. And grouper is the worst kind of fish and you just want to sell those. When you're just starting out in hardcore, like the biggest enemy is just patience, or impatience I would say. Like all you have to do is just go on the fishing grind and then you'll just
cannot carry anymore.
And then you'll just eventually get something that you can sell for good dough and gold. And light quiver, that's an artifact item right there, so we can sell that. So there we go. golden stars. That's just jewelry, but we can sell. Okay, light quiver, pick that up. Okay. Now we're gonna identify the light quiver. Five bow and crossbow skill. Now I'm gonna have you sell that light quiver for some decent gold.
My wares are both ancient and powerful.
Boom. Like, we just gained 4,000 blue gold from that. That's enough to buy a decent spell or some cheap item in the gambling store if you're lucky.
At these prices, it's practically stealing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to refresh the stock very often if you want to, get the most bang for your buck. And that's all for the first episode of my gameplay for hardcore mode on Traitor Soul. On the next episode, we're going to be tackling Typhon, and have a good day, everyone.